Hello guys, I Arvind Mahapatra. I am back with another interesting SQL interview question. So due to some personal commitment, I didn't upload the video. So sorry for that one. So let's jump into the today's question. So basically, today's discussion will be on the Letcode SQL series, SQL interview series, like where it is listed. This question basically, Letcode is a online platform where the all the kinds of interview questions will be listed here. So I just picked up one question from the SQL Letcode interview series. So let's jump into the today's question. So we have basically two tables where it is user table is there, and user table is having two column. ID column is the primary key for this table, and name is the name of the user. And another table is there that is called right. And here basically there are three column are there. So ID is the ID column is the primary key of this table, and user ID is the ID of the user who traveled the distance. Basically, we have two table. One is user table, another one is right table. And the asked question is write a SQL query to report the distance traveled by each user. So so we have to write a SQL query where we have to find out the travel distance traveled by each user. So return the result table order by the travel distance in the descending order. If two or more user travel the same distance, then order them by their name in ascending order. So first, so how we will approach this problem statement? So we will find that the travel distance covered by each user ID from the right table, and then we will join the right table along with the user table to get the respective name of the user ID. With the help of the user ID and the ID column from rights and users respectively table. So let's jump into the SQL Server Management Studio to proceed. So the expected output should be in this particular format, and the name will be there, travel distance will be there. So we'll see. So we have a table that is a right table. So select star from right. I'll just give the alias of this particular table. Use okay. I just selected my database. Then I'm running the that select statement. So if you have any better approach other than this approach, just pause the video and write it in the comment section, and do check this later. I'll post all the sample data, sample table script in the comment section of the video. So here what I will do is I will just try to get the user ID, and I will sum the distance, and I will just use the partition by clause so that I can, because I have to find out the distance by I have to find out the distance covered by each user ID. So partition by r dot user underscore ID. So if you will run it, see the user ID. I'll just give a alias to this traveled distance. So basically, it is asked to mention this name. So let it be strict to this name only. So if we'll run it, see the user ID 1 is having 120. So user ID is having user ID 7 is having 450 and 450 total travel distance. So here if you will find, if we'll go to the user ID table here, so if you will go to the right table, So user ID 7 is having 100, again it's having 120, again it's having 230. So it's all the so it should be, that's the reason we are using partition by user ID, so we can combine all the distance traveled by that particular user. So that's the reason I am using partition by clause. And now just jump into the SQL Server Management Studio. So here, if you will see, now we are getting uh, each user how much travel, how much distance it has been traveled. And now what we will do is, now I will use here distance, because we are having multiple. As we are using the partition by, that's the reason it's coming multiple records for each user ID. Just for the instance for the 7 and 19. And so what I will do is, I'll just use the distant, so that it will, because we are using partition by clause for each row, the same value will get a reflect. So if we will use the distant one, it will not reflect now, because we are using distant. So what I have to do is now, so I will just join this one. I'll do the left join with right table, sorry, with user table, user on u.id is equal to r dot user id. And so let's I'll just mention the u dot name. I'll just mention the name of the required user id. So if you'll see, user ID is one is having alias, it's having alias is traveled. It's user ID one is traveled up to 120 kilometer, and for 7 user ID 7 Lee, it traveled 450 kilometer. If we'll go to the if we'll go to the um, if we'll go to the expected output, the expected output should be in this particular format. So wherever, like expected output should be that the travel distance should be in the descending order. If here it's mentioned that return the result table order by travel distance in the descending order first. Second is, if two or more result or two or more user traveled the same distance, then their name should be in the ascending order. So just for the instance, here for like Elvis also traveled 450, Lee also traveled 450, and here traveled underscore distance we have will do by the descending order, and the name we will do the in the ascending order, order by ascending, order by name ascending. So, and the next is, you can see the Donald. Donald is traveled 0 kilometer basically. So where this Donald, where it is coming? Donald is coming from the user ID table. So user ID table. See the you know, Donald is having user ID is having 4, which is not present in the this user ID table. So what we have to do, like I have to get this one in this particular format, although it's not the part of this one. Then what I have to do, I have to use the right join here, so that I can able to get it. So I'll do the right join basically. So if you'll see now, see, although it's not although it didn't travel anything null, so I have to convert this null to 0 first, and then I have to make the changes, and changes in the traveled underscore distance is in the descending and name is in the ascending. So what I will do it now is, I will just hold this intermediate result with the help of common table expression, and let it be called by ct underscore e. This is a common table expression. So I'm just using a common table ct common table expression to hold the intermediate result. And now what I will do is select star from ct underscore a, order by order by traveled underscore distance, order by traveled underscore distance is in the descending, and the name column is in the ascending. If you will not mention also, it will by default the order by default it will take in the ascending order. So let's run it and see. So user ID, so now Elvis is first it will come Elvis, because we are using ascending in the name E, then Lee, but Donald is, it should be 0, it should not be null. So what I have to do is now is it should be 0 in the expected output. If we'll go to the expected output part, it should be 0. See, Donald, it should be 0. Instead of null, it should reflect a 0. What should I do is, I'll just write a case statement here. Basically, yes, when this is null, then it should 0, else it should be Sam, else it should be Sam. I'll just end the case statement. So let's run it now. See, now it's coming 0, and now run the full script. So here Elvis is 450, Lee is 450, and Donald is having 0. So now what I have to do, we don't need this user ID column from the final output. So what I'll do, I'll just remove this one. It will not impact anything. I'm just using select star. So now it should be as expected, the result. So if you have any better approach than this particular approach, then please do comment in the video section of this video, in the comment section, so that it will be a great contribution to the data community. And thank you for watching my video, and please do subscribe and like and do share if you like my video. Thank you.